Hey boxers, this is Coach Jay with Imperium Boxing, and welcome to my studio. I thought I'd switch things up here and record from home, but we are going to talk about boxing, and specifically the heavyweight division and some things that might have shaken loose with the Chris Chisora victory over Pulev. Pulev beat Chris Chisora in 2016, and he beat him pretty decidedly, but Chisora rematched him and won. This is Chisora's first victory in over 3 years. He's had a string of losses. He's a perennial opponent. That's the role that Chris plays. He's the opponent. He's the gatekeeper. Chisora has turned it into a very good business plan. He has stayed relevant. He's fought a lot of fighters. He's fought Tyson Fury twice. When Usyk jumped from the cruiserweight division up to the heavyweight division, he fought Chisora. Chisora is the name recognition you need. He's the guy that lets everybody else know you're legit. Because if you're not, you're going to lose. And he's cashed in on it. He's cashed in on it well. But he's 38 years old. He needed a win. And it was a very good business move by Chisora and his team. I commend him for it. He fought a guy who's already beat him. But he fought a guy who's 41 years old. And Chisora came out with a lot of determination to win this fight. And he did it by pressing, a lot of action. He was very active. He pushed the tempo. In other words, he was making Pulev feel those 41 years and just keeping the pace just out of reach of Pulev. Of course, he had a pretty friendly referee in there that just kept warning him and never took a point off. But regardless of the fight itself, we're talking about what this does to the heavyweight division and what is Chris Chisora's role in the heavyweight division as a gatekeeper. He's not going to get a shot with Joshua or Usyk. He's already fought Usyk. Usyk used him as a stepping stone to get into bigger fights. So this all spins back around to Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder obviously coming off two pretty sensational losses, devastating losses you could say, against Tyson Fury. The first fight was a controversial draw. Either way you had it, it would be controversial. The second fight, though, was a pretty one-sided beatdown. The third fight was too, other than when Wilder landed and was able to drop Fury twice in the fourth round. But Fury being Fury, he beat Wilder up. I mean, he was over with. He was on the canvas. I mean, they called the fight. He was knocked out. The second fight he was standing in the corner, but he was a TKO. He was beat to a disaster. So we don't know where Wilder is mentally. We don't know where he's at physically. We don't know what the product is. We don't know what the changes those beatings do to you. And especially, Wilder being 36, he's into his 36th year, so he'll be 37, soon. But we do know that Wilder wants to come back. At first there was talk of retirement. Then lately there's been talk of him wanting to get back in and push for one more run. I think even Fury said he should do that, and he probably will, and he probably can. But what better way to do it than to fight Chris Chisora? And that's exactly what Chris Chisora lobbied after the fight. He even told Eddie Hearn, he said, "Look, I need a payday. I want a big fight. If you can't do it, I'm going to cross over to the other side." He was joking, but he meant what he said. What he meant the other side was he's going to get with an American promoter, and he's going to fight Wilder in Vegas. If Wilder is serious about coming out and fighting again, he's been presented a wonderful present, because Chisora is coming forward and he's coming to get beat. That's not a knock on Chisora, but he can't beat Wilder unless a few things go right for him. Meaning, if he catches Wilder cleanly and Wilder's punch resistance is just going completely downhill, which is possible in the heavyweight division. I'm not knocking Chisora, so I don't want anybody to think that I'm just, he's not garbage. The man's fought 50 professional fights, or very close to 50 professional fights, regardless if he's lost 12. I think he's 30-something and 12 with 20-something knockouts. So he's legit, okay? He's just not elite. Okay, so what? The man's made a living fighting, and he's very good at it. Wilder doesn't have to go back through the ranks. He doesn't have to throw together 4 or 5 wins and get back in title contention or title talk. Wilder's legacy is secure. I mean, the man, his name alone speaks recognition. He was 40-0 with 40 knockouts at one point. He defended his title 10 or more times. He's got one of the greatest right hands in history. He's got a higher knockout percentage than George Foreman. The list goes on and on. He's a bronze medalist. He will sell tickets, and I think, especially from the American market, we want to see a redemption story, regardless of what we think about Wilder personally. Is he kind of a goofball? I don't know. Is he eccentric? Probably, but can he knock people out? He absolutely can. So that's what we want to see. Chisora has won. He is the gatekeeper. He's made for people like Wilder to get back in contention. If Wilder wants a win to start the hype train, if he wants a win to get people talking about him, and if he wants a win by spectacular knockout, Chisora is his man, and Chisora is willing to step up to the plate and give it to him, provided Chisora is compensated very handsomely, which the man deserves. He's 38 years old. He's only got a couple of fights left. He even said that after the fight. He goes, hey, I'm very happy about this win, but I'm a little sad because I only have a couple more left in me. He knows retirement's coming. So this is his retirement plan. This is his retirement package. He's going to hand Wilder a chance to be relevant again. He's going to give Wilder a fight. And I do mean give, because Chisora he's the bargaining chip here. If he's the guy who can tell the rest of the world if you're legit or not. We will know if the tires are, or if the tread is off the tires when Wilder gets back in fights, okay? We'll know that. Chisora will push him. And if Wilder knocks him out in the third, fifth, whatever the round, Wilder's back. Wilder's back. The highlight, the YouTube highlight reels come on. We're going to be repeating this and showing this and sharing it on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. We'll see it all over again. And then Wilder will fight for the heavyweight championship next year in 2023. He'll get this one fight. If they decide to do this, it'll happen this year. He will fight the winner out of Usyk Joshua. It can't come out, it can't work any better. It's too good for both parties. It's good for all of parties. And actually, it's very good for the heavyweight division. If Wilder wants it, if Wilder really wants it, he wants to get back in there and he wants to get the people talking about him. Maybe he brushes off that right hand of his and he lands something big and the sweat flies and mouthpiece comes out and Chisora's on the mat. Isn't that what you come for? Isn't that what we want? All right, so guys, thank you for joining. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.